The United States has carried out a major military operation against Iranian targets. According to a report citing U.S. Central Command or CENTCOM, American forces struck more than 170 Iranian military targets along the coast near the Strait of Hormuz. Over the past 2 days, the targets included air defense systems, drone and missile storage sites, military speedboats and logistics infrastructure. CENTCOM has said the strikes were aimed at degrading Iran's capability to threaten commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. So precise strikes have been carried out over the last 2 days. That's what CENTCOM is claiming. Air Commodore Sanjeev Medirata, what do you make of what they've come out and claimed as the targets of these massive strikes by the US?
Hello, good evening, and good evening to the fellow panelists. Yeah, I would like to bring out 2-3 points before I come to the point proper which you are talking about. Yes, CENTCOM has said that they have initially they had precise 85 targets with them, which they already knew where they were. And then they have increased it to 170 now in the last 2 nights. But I would just like to point out a few other things. Initially, Iran was trying to say that we were not sure about who has fired those 3 tankers. But the fact remains, which has come out now, they have made a lane which they want to control for exit as well as the entry of the Hormuz. The 3 ships which were not following that lane, which were close to Oman actually, which also is a route, and even India was following, one of the ships were following that route. They fired on those 3 ships intentionally, and it was not a one-off thing which was out of their control, which initially they tried to say. Because even the Indian ship, they did not fire upon, but they told it to go back and come through the proper route, which means they want to have a control over Hormuz and they want to have a systematic entry and exit which is close to them. Whereas there is an option of not going close to them and still continue with your tankers as well as the trade. So the point which is coming up is, despite all the MOUs and everything, Iran had made it very clear that we would not want it to be status quo as it was before the war. We would now want, because now they want a piece of cake here also, and they say now, since we know it is the juggler's vein and the whole world gets affected, we would like to have a control over it in whatever name you call it. You call it proper lanes, you call it security, you call it looking after, you call it whichever name you call it. But the fact remains, they do not want to leave the control on Hormuz, which obviously is neither acceptable to the world nor to America, and rightly so. So Iran is losing that word opinion, which at times was there, because like the previous panelist had said, that they were attacked first. But now things are coming that, as the general has also said, that even their own population is the right thinking, and they know that America has tried to do an MOU and now they are trying to spoil it intentionally, and the opinion is going off against them. IRGC till now had been able to, along with their paramilitary forces, control the local sentiment, which had become nationalistic in some way because of the external attack, but it is not going to remain so, and they will forcibly keep on controlling their own population for some time. But if they kind of take these kind of decisions for long, it will not be able to control their own population and things will flare out. As such, we know how the Iran war started was because all the Middle East countries, the West Asian countries, were not very happy with the power which the country was enjoying and bullying the other countries. That is how it all started. They should not forget it. So nobody out there wants Iran to be a very strong nation. So all this falls in place when America comes, and then after having made them a little weak for the next
Stay with us, sir. We're getting more breaking news, in fact, now coming in.